Okay. They said that I have to tell a little bit of story about me, but it's going to be very short because I don't like to talk about me. The only thing is that I am addicted to fondant. And I have been working with Satin Ice since number 1 day, okay? Because I helped develop the fondant to Kevin and the Satin Ice team. And I am very happy with it. And today I want to share some of the things, but the most important thing is that I want you to ask questions of some of the things that you have trouble, or sometimes you say, well, this is that, you are confused. So I want to let you know that working with Satin Ice, it's absolutely amazing. And besides, it's the easiest thing ever. There is no complications at all. You all can become, for the people that have never done it and they are new, oh my gosh, it's unbelievable easy. People love to complicate their lives, all right? Not with this. It's very easy there. I'm going to show you the steps that you will always remember. And anyway, if for any reason you have something that you still don't know very well when I go back to Orlando, you are more than welcome to call me, that I am very used to answer questions to everybody. Now, another thing that I'm going to tell you, everybody, is that I don't have secrets at all. I am not going to bring anything upstairs when I go. And everything, I love to create things. Love to create new things every time, right? So ask me anything that you want. If I know, I will tell you totally, sincerely, okay? If I don't know, I will tell you the same. I'm sorry, I don't know that, okay? But I don't have secrets, all right? We have a pastry shop. My husband is a pastry chef. He's an architect. And I have an art degree. I have been doing ceramics and art since I was a 2-year-old girl, and I started doing this many, many years ago, and I love it. So like I said, if you are going to start with this, be careful. This is totally an addiction, all right? There's a lot of people that they say, well, you know something, I have so many troubles because of the weather. Weather is the number one questions, what are we going to do with the humidity, and blah, blah, blah. I go all around the world teaching. I go to the places that you cannot even believe that they have a rolling pin as a bottle. Trust me, that is true. And the weather, it's terrible, and cold, humid, and everything. Well, this works for every climate. When you cover a cake, right, there's a lot of people that they really wanted to put in the refrigerator because they use like cream inside, things that, Well, you know what? You can put it in the refrigerator, and nothing is going to happen. But there is a but. There is some refrigerators that they have high humidity. It's exactly, and it's very easy to taste. Just a woman can put their hair inside the refrigerator and immediately get curly. There's a lot of humidity. But there's other ones that is no humidity at all. So with the ones that you don't have any humidity, you can put it inside and that's it. But with the humidity one, this is the way to cover a cake so you don't have that shiny, right? Have you experienced that? All right. This is the way to do it. You take your cake, right? You put a plastic bag, very soft plastic bag on top. And then you take this one to the rescue. And then you wrap on top of the plastic the paper, all right? Why? Because the humidity will go to the paper. And this is the way, and the tissues or toilet paper, excuse me, just in case of an emergency, you can wrap it with toilet paper if you don't have this, all right? But for the flowers, to keep your flowers too, so they don't flat with the humidity, you should always put paper, wrap each flower, like roses or something, with, like that, with the paper. Nothing will have. And you know something? You have to trust me. I come from Florida, hurricane. How about that? 90 degrees, no electricity. So I have experienced that. The ones that I have my flowers and all my decorations that I put the paper, nothing happens. The other ones, they were flat totally, all right? So I was thinking, well, if that happens in a box, why not in the refrigerator? So I tried, and I wrapped the paper, first the plastic bag, and then the paper. Took the cake, even last week, I took a cake, perfect, no shiny, no nothing. Okay, another of the things is that people said, oh my gosh, what is going to happen? Can I freeze the cakes? Of course you can freeze the cakes. You can freeze the cakes. You bring it outside a little bit. It doesn't have to be totally room temperature. And you just cover it. While you are covering, of course, there's cold inside the cake. So it is going to come and it's going to shine a little bit over here, you know. It's like when you go outside, you sweat a little bit. That's it. Then it will disappear, all right? So there's no problem. Now, in my bakery, in our bakery, I hate to bake. My husband bakes. I don't like to bake. I don't like the situation with eggs and all that stuff. So I decorate, but I learned from him, of course. I have been married 37 years with him. Of course, I learned of him. And this is the way we do it. We do the cake, we bake in two. We make a little pool inside. Why? Because before I was putting the buttercream, right? And you know what happens? I put the other one on top, and guess what? Do you remember those little things that come here? Exactly, it happens on the cake. So I say to my husband, I want totally perfect straight cakes, all right? And then we think about it, and we say, well, let's make a little pool to put the filling inside. So we use like a little spatula like this, but totally like that. And we go like, the girls are very practiced, and they go like, and they take, and they, depends of the customer if they want a lot of filling or not a lot of filling. So we put the filling, right? And then we put the other cake on top with no in between the pool, that is from here to there. There's cake here. Then we put the other cake on top, right? So it's cake with cake. There is no bump with the buttercream. And then you put the buttercream around, right? You put all the buttercream, and then we always leave the cakes outside for a while. And we usually cover on Wednesday, and on Thursday, we put the fondant on top. So probably like 15 minutes, 20 minutes before we start putting in the refrigerator, the cake, so the buttercream hardens a little bit. Then it comes out, and I have all my lab already done over here. And then they bring the first cake, right? And then I put water. All right, no jam, no piping gel, no messes. Simple water. You take a water with a big brush. I have a big brush. And then you just paint it with the brush. I don't like to spray it because sometimes you have another cake, and you know if there is a tiny little piece of water in the cake on the fondant, it makes a hole. So I go with the brush, all right? And then I stretch, once it's there, I stretch the dough, and I put the fondant on top, all right? So there won't be any problem. Now, for everybody, I'm going to tell you something. Fondant doesn't correct any mistakes. So if the department A, I always call my husband department A, I am B. It should be but anyway, he's happy like that. But from the department A, it comes with a hole. It comes crooked. It comes, you know what I'm talking about? And then I cover it with the fondant. It's going to look crooked. It's going to look the hole and everything. So it has to be perfect from that other department. Why is there so many people that they come from that department and that is so terrible? Because they don't use the perfect tool. That is so easy and so simple. Number one tool. This is the Wilton, how you call turntable, right? What they do, and then you have a cake that is at 12 inches, and the table is 10 inches. then they're going to start like this. So there is no point of this to go. So they go like this, like that. Every time you're covering a buttercream cake, because the buttercream and the royal icing are the cousins of the fondant, all right? That's family. So they have to be all nice. You have to put a board, a big board, right? And then you go to Home Depot and you buy one of those things for the wall that is like, you know, the handle here. You know what I'm talking about, guys? Okay? That thing is going to be flat on top of this, totally in the square, and then you turn it around. But if you don't have that point to hold this, then you're going to go like this, or you're going to go like that, all right? So this is the way. If something is wrong, I go back, it goes back to department A, all right? Now, what are the elements that you really need? And this is a controversy about it. You need, this is cornstarch. I did this. This is very cute. And you know, well, it's pink, I love pink. But listen, do you know where you can find this fabric? In Sam's. This is what the people that makes bread, they cover that fabric. You tell your grandmother or your aunt to do it for you. It's just a plate, and then it's really, really good, all right? And I use Crisco, and I use water. That's my things. Now, big controversy about sugar and cornstarch. Should never, ever use sugar. And the reason why you should never use powdered sugar, you know, like all the thing that they put all this powdered sugar, it's because it damages the dough. Extra sugar. It doesn't dry. One of my best friends in Florida, they have a sugar factory, or whatever, you know, those things. And he told me that in summertime, they add cornstarch to the powdered sugar, a percentage, because the powdered sugar, you know, it dries the sugar. Now, if you do that to the fondant, what is going to happen? Eventually, you add so much that it's going to break the fondant, all right? So trust me, by experience, I know. Use cornstarch, all right? Now, let's talk about the tables. Oh dear, oh yeah. When I travel, you can't even imagine in other countries how people work. It's so sad, really, in many, many countries. But I gave them the solution. These are very nice to work. Let's see, for instance, if you want a flower or something like that. But this is very cold. And you know something? Fondant is romantic. They love warm. They want massage, all right? So you need to massage your fondant. Otherwise, it will dry. So I went to Canada to teach a class. What a mess fondant. Oh, joy. And they were like, we try so much and we try too much. Every single table was stainless steel. Excuse me, you know, cornstarch. They were like, you know, everybody, I said, you should use a mask here. What is this? Because it's so cold. And I said, but what can we do? They, oh, Walmart to the rescue. Let's go to Walmart and buy just the vinyl. You know, the vinyl that they cover the furniture sometimes. You know what I'm talking about, the thick one? Solution for everybody that doesn't have a mat. You use that, it works perfect. And besides, it works perfect when you use it, when you have to make a huge cake. All right? Very, very huge cake. You use your vinyl from Walmart or from Joann Fabrics or whatever, and then you put it over here, right? Longer, you know, a PVC, longer. Then you put an electric tape, you tape it here, and then you stretch your dough over here, and then you wrap your vinyl with your, are you following me? Yeah? And then somebody has to help you. You know, you go this way and this, the other one. I'm talking about a big cake. And then you just put it on there and start this one. Perfect solution. See? So very important that you have a vinyl. Okay, and last before we start, rolling pins. This is very nice, and I have it, and my husband have it. This is a rolling pin for guys, to tell you the truth. They have big hands, right? And they can work with it easier because they are strong. We women, we are not as strong. For us, the rolling pin with the handles is the best. Why? Because the rolling pin is working for us. And this, we are working for the rolling pin. And do you know what happens? One of the multiple questions for people is like, my dough dries. Of course it's going to dry if they're going to take 4 hours to go and go and go with this rolling pin. With the other one, you just go like that, and it's easy and it doesn't dry, and that's it, period, all right? I said this was the last one, but I forgot about something very important. When a doctor is going to operate somebody, what do? They have everything prepared, right? Otherwise, the patient opens the stomach and then they're, oh, I don't have the cotton. Go and buy the cotton in the corner. No, you don't do that. Or doctor, they're calling you. Once you have your cake with the water, you find out if you have every element that you have on top. And you say, why am I saying this? Because it happens. I receive so many calls, and I ask them, why, start from the beginning. What do you do? Oh, I stretch it, but did you went someplace? Yeah, but I cover it with a plastic. No, because the fondant dries on top of a particle that is extremely thin. And then when you're going to put it, it's going to have like an elephant skin. So you have to have everything on top. Now, by the way, with the elephant skin, I use it when I'm going to do the texture of a book. You know, like leather, when I do my purses. You don't need a mat for purses. You do it like that. Just stretch your dough, leave it go, wash your dishes, come back, and later on, leave it a little thick, and then you stretch it. And you have this beautiful texture that you can, later on, can paint it, you know, with airbrush or just not paint it in brown or whatever. Okay, that's the way to do it. Okay. The gum paste to do flowers, to do construction, to do animals, to do figures, to do whatever you want, all right? A cousin of the gum paste. This is called tylose. Why do we need tylose? Because if we have red, yellow, pink, and we don't have gum paste, how are we going to do it? How are we going to do the figures or whatever, the flowers what we have? So you mix for 1 pound of fondant. For flowers, you use a big teaspoon of tylose. You mix it, and you have to use it later on. Let them rest. So I always use like the day before, and of course, they always have leftovers. You never waste the leftovers, all right? But if you are going to do figures, you add even more tylose, even to the gum paste, okay? So this is white gum paste, and you wanted to do color, you add a little bit of the fondant. That doesn't matter. But if you're going to make a figure, or you're going to make animals, so anything that is figure, or if you're going to make construction, like, you know, a farm, a house, or whatever, you have to add more tylose. Yes?
So if you're making, excuse me, if you're making flowers, that's when you add 1 teaspoon per
exactly.
to
exactly.
1 pound of fondant,
yes.
not to gum paste, right?
Yes, but you know something, in case of emergency, add more, and then you do your flowers. If you have to do those flowers really fast, you know, add a little bit more of tylose. So don't worry about that, all right? Okay. So this is the gum paste, all right? And the gum paste can be used, you know, to make bows and everything. Now, about the bows. When you make bows that they are ahead of time, you know, like the loops, you know, that you can do, that we do in the bakery a lot. It's much better that you add a little bit more, you know, of tylose to do the bows too, especially for the ones that you make dry. The other ones that I'm going to show you how to do one today, it's different, all right? Okay, so today, any questions before I will start? Nothing? All right. So today we are going to make, they told me to make like a romantic wedding cake, and they told me to make like a little bit modern wedding cake, all right? So I already covered this one, because that way we don't have to waste time covering the rest. Now, when you are going to make a dummy, you know, because everybody eventually has to make a dummy, you know, for sample or whatever. The only thing that I use is water here. And what I do, this comes very sharp. And some people, they go with a sandpaper and big mess. What I do is I take my scissors and I go around this over here with the scissors, cut the edges, all right? And that's it. So there won't be any other problem. Okay. Once you are going to start a wedding cake, right? Wedding cakes today, they are not like the great-grandmother or the grandmother, you know, with columns and everything, right? They don't, that's out, right? Probably they will come back. I still have mine. It will come back eventually. Everything comes back, yeah. But one of the things that a lot of cake decorators have is structurally those cakes, they collapse, right? Or they're twisted, or they are this, because they don't know how to do this situation with the dowels. And that is very important. They think because they have the dowels, that's it. Every cake that we deliver in our shop, do you know what I do? I go to the car and I measure with the tape. Oh yeah, another layer, it fits, that's it. You know, and then we put it in the car. Why? Because I know it's not going to go anywhere, all right? So you cover this cake. It's already covered. For everybody, it really works for me. I have some discs of one of those vinyl, cheapy vinyls, you know, of all the sizes, in heart, in square, in diagonal, 10, 6, 8, And then this is coming over here, that it is an 8 inches. So I go with my board and I paint it, not paint it, but I use a tool, right? And I just go like this on the board. I take that board off, and then I put one dowel here, another here, another here, another here, another here. 16 inches down, you use 5 dowels. And the dowels that they sell, the thick ones, to tell you the truth, I use PVC for water. You know, the hard ones. I have a little machine, I cut it. But there is a lady that she makes really good ones too, and they are a little thicker. I don't like the little, you know, the little skinny ones because that is very dangerous. So once you put 5. So if you're going to make a cake that is a 16 inches, or you're going to make a cake that is a 14, 10, whatever, you make always 5 dowels, all right? From 18 up, then you add a little bit more. What is the reason why you have to use a dowel? The reason is so it doesn't sink, but it doesn't support the cake. It doesn't sink, that's it, all right? But what happens if you go with this cake, and it has the dowels, and then you deliver it, and you have to, it goes, flies, right? Why? Because you have to secure these two. And what happened is that there's a lot of people, they go and look for a chair, and go to Home Depot, and they buy these dowels this long, and then sometimes it's come this way, because they are so long you cannot control it, and it happens, you know. Trust me, I have talked a lot. I love to talk, so I love to hear too. That is really bad. You don't do that. The only thing that you need is this. This is what you need. No more. How do you do it? After this is covered, you put your dowels. I always measure. I don't do it ahead of time. I measure always. Paint it with a pencil, and then I cut my dowel. Because sometimes the cakes are a little higher, a little lower, or sometimes you are this big, whatever, you know. And then I cut it, and then I put it on top, put it there. Then I cover this cake in fondant, and then I put royal icing on top of each dowel. Why? Because under here, there is a board, a cardboard, that we always cover it in heavy-duty aluminum foil, because my husband, he's right, says that if you do a cardboard just a cardboard, even with those that they say that, you know, they have this, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. It goes soggy with the humidity. It absorbs the humidity of the cake, and then this is soggy, and then the dowels goes inside. And that's when all the tragedies start. So take your time. What I do, we always buy, you know, the round or square, whatever, boards, and then like this one, see? And then we cover it with foil, and we put masking tape that they sell in Walmart. It's the only one that doesn't smell. Over here, just a little bit of masking tape just to hold the foil, heavy duty foil. And we have lots and lots already covered. And we always use 2 boards, 2, so they will be heavier, all right? So now we have the royal icing over here in this one. We put it over here, okay? Let's pretend this is a cake. What you are going to do is you are going to take one of these dowels, and you are going to take a hammer. I have a pink one, by the way. So I bought it so my kids, I have 3 boys and a husband. And I said, I'm going to buy everything in pink, but forget about it, they use it. So I go with the hammer all the way from here, over here, right? If the cake is very big, I put 2, all right? I'm going to show it over here in this drawing. From here, all the way to here. From here, all the way to here, okay? This way you can go 10 tiers. Now, the other one that you're going to put is going to be here. And then you are going to go from here to here. You know what I mean? From here to here. Meaning that you're going to put this one from here all the way up to here. My husband is an architect and specializes in structures. He taught me this. It's exactly this way a building is built. That's the way you tie your structure. See? That way you don't need totally to go with a huge dowel all the way down, because it doesn't do anything either. It's very dangerous, all right? So you just do this, okay? You use the tape, you know, like this tape. Remember, under this cake, there is a board, because I don't cover the entire with foil all the way. I just cover a little bit, you know. I'm very cheapy sometimes, you know. I just try to, you know, just a little bit, and that's it. So the rest is a board. So I go with the tape, double tape. I put it double, you know, over here. So now this cake doesn't go any place because it's strong there, okay? You use this one. They put the dowels too low, so the cake sinks a little bit inside. I always leave, I'm going to show you exactly what I leave. When I put my dowels, I leave this little piece like that. A little less, like 1/4 of an inch, like this, see? Why? Because when you do it like that, you put your cake, and this cake is not touching this other one. It's just the little bit of the dowels, like that. You have a tiny little light there that I'm going to show you with this cake how to push the fondant, and you will show anything. But you have to put the royal icing, okay, on top of the dowels. So you always do the dowels a little tiny little bit high. When you're going to deliver a cake, you know what happens? When people make the dowels really deep, it sinks. And when they do that cardboard, and when they use this as a dowel, and then it's soggy, and then it starts going inside the cake, and then when you go to the delivery, it's cracked. Is right or not? Sometimes it happens, all right? Now, work with fondant is so easy, easier than work with buttercream, because with fondant you can do a lot of plastic surgeries. When you make a mistake, it's so easy. You can paint an entire cake. If you are artistic, you can paint anything with work, and you don't like it, you wash it. I'll show you. And then there is no reason to say, oh, I cannot do it. because it's truly, truly easy, all right? Now, I have a sheeter in my bakery, right? But it's not very big, right? But I finish always. I'll bring it the beginning, and then I stretch with my handle rolling pin. And besides, it's very good even for guys. So nothing hangs from here. It's a very, very good exercise, all right, to do this, all right? Okay. This cake is going to be a black and white cake. Now, people ask me, what is popular today? Nothing is popular. You know why? Some things are over, like the columns, because it's their personality of the bride, what they wanted. So some brides are very romantic, and they like something, very lots of work. Some, they are simple. They just want something, just a little ribbon, a flower, that's it. So everything depends on the bride. And the groom, when they are like a pain in the neck and they get involved in the, those are like, no. Groom's cake for the grooms, brides for the brides, right? Okay, let's talk about how to handle the colors. When you have the red, the black, the green, those colors, they have a lot of colors in the fondant. So of course, the fondant sometimes becomes like a little cheesy. And for some reason, I have to call Einstein to tell me what's going on, because I have no idea. When you take an entire bucket of the red, for instance, and you start working, it's like it doesn't warm enough. You need to warm it, and inside doesn't warm enough. So what I discovered is that you take a piece, you warm it, put it in a plastic bag, take another piece, warm it a little bit, put it, and then all together, it's perfect, it's fine, all right? This has a lot of color too. Now, how do I start from the bucket? A lot of people, believe it or not, they take the fondant off the bucket and they use a rolling pin immediately. No, you have to, like I said, massage. Be nice and be sweet with that. A lot of people, you make a big mistake too. They take, oh my gosh, that is when I went to one of the countries in South America or Central America. They use so much grease. That is very, very bad. So what you do, you put a little bit of Crisco in your hands just like this, like a little cream, all right? Probably the guys, they have to do it twice because your hands are like so dry, trust me. So you take your fondant off the bucket, and the first step that you're going to do is you're going to make a bread dough. Let's go with the bread, all right? I think this is going to be a little too much. Now, you take your fondant, and then you're going to work, not like washing clothes, like going like that, all right? Go here, and you're going to bring this piece over here, and this other one over here. If you feel that your hands are extremely dry, you just see what I do? Just a tiny little bit. And go here, and go there, around, see? Just like bread, right? Okay, so I go like this, and here, and there, all right. Just like a bread. Now, after we finish the process of bread, we are going to switch to pizza. So now, this is the pizza dough, right? So we are going to use our hands. There is no point in this moment to start with your rolling pin. No. You go like this, okay? And you're going to stretch it. See what I'm doing? And I'm rounding it. And if I'm doing a square cake, this is the moment that I make the square shape, all right? So you just go like here, look, and go like that. So this is pizza, all right? Very, very important. Once you have your pizza like this, you're going to turn the ugly part to the bottom, all right? So we are going to turn it around like this, and then it's when we start using my husband's rolling pin. All right? So now, if you want to do it, you don't have a sheeter, but you want that this is really nice and exactly the same size, you go buy some rulers, you know, like those sticks in Home Depot that they have different in Michael's or some, and you put it over here, and then you go on top of that, and then it will level, all right? But see what I'm doing? I'm moving myself. I'm not moving the dough a lot. So I just go like here. Now, when you are doing a dummy, you use a little thicker fondant, all right, than when you are doing a real one. I use very thin fondant. Okay, very important. A lot of people, they use a rolling pin to hold it. I don't use any rolling pin or anything. If it's too big, I do the thing with the, if it's extremely big. Otherwise, somebody can help, all right? So I hold it here, put it in front of me, and just go like this, all right? Now, what are you going to do with all these pleats? Very easy. You are going to lift your skirt and press. Lift your skirt and press. Lift your skirt and press. The thinner the fondant is, the more pleats it has. It's like a skirt, right? So for the guys, you will never forget this. You lift your skirt and press. Lift your skirt and press, all right? Okay, I used to say push, but then they correct me. You should use press. Okay, just like this, and press. Hold it here and press. See, lift it and press. If you don't lift the fondant, you are going to have a wrinkle, you know, a pleat over there. You are not going to go in smooth in this moment. What we are going to do fast is just lift the skirt and press. Lift the skirt and just press, see? Press over here. Lift, press, lift, press, lift, press. See how easy that is? But we are not going to go, because then these other pleats are going to dry, all right? So we really go fast, fast, and just press there. Okay. Once it's there, we're going to use both hands, and we're going to just finish the pressing. All right, once it's there, you massage this, right? Then we're going to use the smoother. And I always recommend to put a little bit of cornstarch with your smoother. A lot of people, they say, oh, but it's black, it's cornstarch. It doesn't matter. I'll show you how to this cornstarch disappear. Okay, so you just go and you go. If this is a real cake, you have to go hard here. Don't be afraid. Nothing is going to happen. And then if it's a real cake, you are going to go 1, 2 to take the air off, and 1, 2 to press. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Just like that, all right? See how easy? It's bread, pizza, turn it around, stretch, put it on, lift the skirt, and press. And that's it. Okay? As simple as that, right? And there's no complication. Now, you take your finger, all right, and you just go around like this a little bit, just like that. Now, before I cut this, it's very, very important something. Lots of you guys have the Wilton turntable. That is very good. But again, here is the Wilton, and here's the cake. And a lot of people, they cover the cake, and that fondant collapses immediately. Why? Because we have gravity. And what happens is that fondant has to go someplace. So it goes down to the floor, and then it cracks over here, and, you know, it's true or not. Don't get away from your Wilton thing. It's good. But put a board. So the fondant always goes on top of a board, so it doesn't go anywhere. So you play with the gravity. You say, haha, see? You're not going anywhere. And then it never collapses and never gets like. Now, I love this tool. You can buy it in Michael's. This Michael's here, right? Joann Fabrics. It's $2.50. I love it. Why? Because it has this angle over here. So what I do, I go here, and I just turn around, just like this, look. Okay? And that's, let me just cut it out here a little bit more. So we always pick up all the pieces, all right? Now, if it has a little water, it doesn't matter. You never bring this back to your container without working your dough. Okay, so now we are going to do, I'm going to make the Chanel. You know what the Chanel is, the quilt? Cross stitch, you know what I'm talking about? In my shop, when somebody very snobby comes and they love this technique, I say it's Chanel. When somebody that is normal, I say it's quilt. That is a quilt little thing, all right? That's it, okay? But they love when I say Chanel, you know? So, now let's do the Chanel, all right? Okay, so you know what is this, right? You know, I go to Home Depot and I buy all the textures for lamps and all this stuff, you know, and then you cut it and that's it. Why do I have this sign over here? Because then I can go the other way and I get confused. So you always have to, with a little, oh, wait, I'm going back, back. For this one, what I always do in my shop with the boards that we do for cakes is that we always use a electric tape, different colors. They sell in Home Depot. And I put the electric tape around and solution. You can have 3 cardboards or anything, and then you don't have to cover it in foil or anything, just with the electric tape. So we are going to start with this. And sometimes it matches. Sometimes it doesn't match. So I leave a little space, so I do it a little bit smaller, but that goes in the back. Everything that is not very nice, it goes in the back. Nobody's going to see it, all right? So don't worry. So we got it here, and we press. That's why it's very important to have a tape under all those boards, because you can press and nothing is going to happen. You know, the cake is not going to fly. So you just go here. Oh my gosh, I can't see very well. Let me see if it's here, okay. So we go. Anyway, I can talk. I'm using my hands, and I can answer questions if you have any questions, all right? While I do this. Something that you cannot do, and I can help. See how easy this is? I'm going to put white pearls later on. And I'm going to show you how to make a perfect royal icing for pearls and everything. So after you do this, I'm going to make the little, and this is hand, you know, it's freehand, so. So that's.
So if you don't press it too much, then you freehand it.
Yes. See? So we freehand it. Once I finish this cake, I'm finishing this Chanel, right? We put all the cakes together, right? It's not totally decorated, but you know, it's all covered, all the cakes. So it's ready to decorate it, let's see, for the next day, right? But sometimes there's pocket of air inside the cake. Well, that air has to come someplace, and sometimes you go the next day, and guess what? There is a huge bubble on your cake. It happens to some of you guys. Even in the buttercream, sometimes it happens. Well, you know what is the solution? You go to your file, and you see the decoration of your cake, right? And then after you see the decoration, you are going to figure it out where, if I'm going to have to put a little flower, or I have to do, you know, any other kind of decoration that I can cover. And even if you don't have it, well, you know, you just have to do it. You are going to put a straw inside the cake. And listen, I'm going to stop this for a minute because this is extremely important. One of the more frequent calls I have. I did the cake. Even in our hotel, they called me that the topper of the cake felt from another lady that did the cake, and they called me because it has a bubble on top. And then there was like something and it felt. Very, very simple. You see these straws? Even if they're thinner ones? You find out, like for instance over here, if this will be a real cake, in between I'm going to put a pearl. I'll put this up to here. Sometimes when it's a carrot cake or something, I go like over here and it becomes with cake a little bit over here and I cut it and I go again. You will never, ever again in your life will have a bubble. It comes, the air comes through this straw, okay? So every time we finish our cakes, I even have a sign in the door. Straws, you know, because sometimes you forgot one and then you're going to go the next day, you never know, maybe it doesn't happen. But sometimes it happens, especially when you use strawberries and raspberry. You know, inside the filling, it's, you know, I don't know if it's the acid or something. And because the fondant seals completely, you know, and it doesn't have an air to go. So with this little simple thing, and on top, you know, if there's going flowers, you put this straw, all right? Never, ever, ever again, you will have a bubble, all right? I leave it in there until the last moment that I decorate the entire cake and everything. And then, for instance, over here is going to have a flower. I leave the flower in a plastic bag for the next day. Even sometimes they come to pick up the cake and my husband says, it has this straw. And then I put the little thing over there. If you don't have, it's all plain and you don't have any place to do it, you mark where the back is and you put it in the back a little hole. And then later I'm going to show you how to cover, make a perfect plastic surgery. Okay? And it will never show where it was, all right? Now, it's very, very important, and I don't like that of the culinary schools. I'm sorry, my husband teaches theirs and everything, but I don't agree with that. Is that you cannot sit, excuse me, American people, you cannot sit in the cash register and you cannot sit decorating a cake. What's going on? Like, I don't understand why a person that is in the cashier cannot sit. It has to be standing up all day long, and then their legs hurts and everything. Well, it's the same thing with the cake decorating. For instance, this is a little high for me. When you are doing a work like this, you never stand up. You sit, and your level of your eyes, this should be like this. Why? Because standing up, you don't know what's going on there. So get used to sit down when you are doing a decoration, you know, with the tip or whatever you are doing. Sit down, all right? And decorate sitting. Now, another little tip that I'm going to tell you is that when you are decorating, you have to stop, stand up, and go far away and see what you are doing. Because it's very different when you are doing it over here, and then you walk and you say, uh-oh, I missed this, uh-oh, I missed that, because you have to go far away to see how it's going, okay? Okay, so now we are going to make the second that is a little bit different than this first one, all right? Remember, we are going to make the bread. So we are going to warm this. All right. We are going to warm it, very nice. So bread is here, and now pizza, remember? All right. And now we are going to turn this around with the cornstarch. On Thursdays, when I'm doing the cakes that I have to cover so many cakes, I use a mask. I'm not joking. I use a mask because I use the cornstarch. And eventually, you know, having so much corn is not good for your lungs. So get used to have a mask. And one of the things that I always recommend all of you to have, it will be a perfect present of the guys for the woman. it will be a great present for the women, to the guys, they do cakes, to have a pasta machine. Pasta machines, they are very inexpensive, some of them, but they are so good. Especially when you do flowers, you do bows, you know, with the fettuccine, you do the ribbons. Oh my gosh, so good. Okay, so we go like this, right? And then we bring it over here. And then we are going to go again. So I'm going here like this, all right? Under. So I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to show you that this has to be totally level. Okay, so now that it's like here, see, it's there. Now, very important. Everybody pay attention to this, because this is exactly what let's pretend there's the dowels here and they're a little higher, right? So maybe in this case, it's not going to show too much. We have the dowels over here, put the royal icing. I always have a bag, you know, and put the dowels on top. This royal icing, put it over here. But this is a dummy, so you know. Okay, David, here we are. So, and of course I make the, you know, design where it's going to be and everything. So let me bring this up a little bit so I can show you. So let's pretend we have a little light over there because the dowels is just a little bit higher. This is what you do. You take your smoother and you go all the way up to here. And you push, and you're going to make like, it's going to be like a little bump, okay, right? So you just push this and make a little bump all the way up to here. And then you just go like this. Okay, so here is the perfect example. See, you make like a little bump like that, and then you just flatten it. So listen to this. When we're going to make a board, we make like a sausage, right? And we just go like this. And then we are going to make the pizza process again, just like that. Now, if you see that it's very thin and you wanted to do it thinner, you use your rolling pin diagonal. Instead of straight, you use it diagonal. Where's my rolling pin, David? Oh, here it is. And then you just go like this, okay? Now, there are so many things that you can do in fondant, in gum paste, that you can have in advance. After we finish this, I'm going to just show you some little things, especially for people that have business, like the bows that you go and things that you can do very, very fast, ahead of time. Now, very important, when you are going to cover a board, and even with the bows, you never use water at the beginning, okay? You don't go with water all over here. Because if you make a mistake, it's going to stretch, and it's going to stick, and it's going to be a mess. So you always bring this, that is extremely thick, all right? And you are going to go here, and you are going to go like this, see? Oh my God, I've never done a border so thick in my life. And you overlap this, all right? And then you just take your overlapping this, bring this, take this, and put it over there. And then, of course, if you want a rolling pin, you know, you can go around with a rolling pin or whatever, right? Now, you take your this now is the time to put the water. Bring it over here. You are going to lift this a little bit and use this. They asked me where did I buy these brushes. I buy brushes very inexpensive in Tuesday morning. Do you have Tuesday morning here? Yeah. Okay. Tuesday morning to the rescue. Tell you. They have wonderful brushes, you know, sometimes, and they're very inexpensive. So you go, I have one in front of my shop, can you imagine? Ay. Okay, so we go like this, and we just, and then we are going to cut the borders, right? Okay, so we go up here. I always do decorations around the borders. I love to make decorations around the borders. They really look nice. And this has to be very, very thin. You go through the pasta machine very thin because you don't want to waste a lot of fondant, right? Okay, now you take a towel, all right? And this is what we do. We are going to go around this, all right?
Is it damp or dry?
It's no down. You always, listen, it's very important that you have, a, you know, what's the word that you said? Moist. Yeah. Okay, towel. Because with the moist in your finger is how you do your flowers, how you curve your flowers. You don't need toothpicks. You don't need all this, what for? You just moisture, and I'm going to make a flower for you guys. So this is just a ribbon, but there is a lot of people, they have difficulty doing a ribbon. So I'm going to show you that ribbons are like real ribbons, okay? They are very thin. And sometimes I see these ribbons like this thick, like the bows do. I have never seen something like that in real life, like that. So we are going to just stretch this. And, okay. So this is how I do it. I go like here, I cut. And this is a fabric cutter too. Okay, guys. This ruler is really, really my companion too. When you cut, you know why? Because if you wanted to cut a ribbon like this, you have everything over here. So that's really good. So you push this over here like that. And over here. And then I'm going to do 1 inch, and I just go on top. See? This is why it's very easy. So you just hold it. Every time you're doing a ribbon, you go and you pass a little bit of cornstarch on top. Even if it's black, we're going to do it. And then you just roll it, all right? This is the correct way to put a ribbon. You never put a ribbon like this because then you stretch it, and when you finish, it's going to be this thin because it's being stretched and everything. But once you do it like this, see how easy? I don't teach anything that is difficult. Okay, so you have your little guys there. So here we are. And we just go with the turntable, and we just put the water here. And then we just always start in the back. See, the back is a very important part of a cake because usually they put it through a wall. So when you know that it's going to be in the center, then you have to be very careful. But all the little mistakes, put in the back. Okay, so here we are. See how easy it is? You just roll it. Okay? See? Look. And then you can do, it's very easy. And I always overlap it. And then I cut it, overlapping it. Right? Just like that. And then take this here. Okay. Take that little piece away. And here we are. Okay, so be careful that it's all level. See how easy? All right. Then you can put pearl dust if you want, you know, make it nice and everything. So let me make this one. And then we're going to make, how we're going to decorate this cake, we are going to make some flowers over here with swirls, I'm going to show you, and some swirls. You know the swirls that I make like all that? I'm going to show you how to do that. See? I'm going to show you how to do all this. Huh? That is very, very simple, and you can do it for Christmas time. I did so many, you know, in red, in blue, in green, in white. It's very simple. And when I went to, I showed this in England in the show in December, and I asked everybody. Not enough, but I'm not going to do another one. You are going to stretch, okay? You're going to behave and stretch. Yes. Ha ha ha. See, you did it. Just a little bit more, and that's it. Definitely, next time that I travel, I am going to travel with my pasta machine, because that way I can teach more, because I don't waste so much time in this, right? So anyway, when you have leftovers, sometimes you don't cover correctly your fondant, because you have to put it in a plastic bag and take the air off and put it in the bucket. And sometimes it's hard, you know, it has little pieces. You can do two things. Keep it for corals, that they're beautiful. Or if you wanted to do it again, you know, that very, very smooth, you have to have a pasta machine or a sheeter. So you pass it until 0. It cracks all those little dry things. You put a little Crisco in your hands, work your dough, and it's brand new. So you don't have to. Now, if the case is an emergency case and you cannot do anything because it's extremely dry, leave it like that. And then when you have to do rocks, you know, like for something that you have to do, take it in pieces and you can use it with rocks. And now in the storage, just room temperature, you know, nothing happens. You don't need like a super special place to storage that. Now, I am going to work a little bit with royal icing too, and I'm going to tell you how I make my own royal icing. My own royal icing is with egg whites. So anyway, coming back to the royal icing. I always use like 6 or 7 egg whites. I go and I use my little bottle, put the egg whites over there, take like that yummy thing, you know, because sometimes when you are decorating with a tip and it goes like this, it's because it doesn't dissolve that little thing over there, you know. So I don't like that, so I take it off. So egg whites, then I take sugar, 10 eggs, put the sugar, put the palette, add a little bit more sugar until you see the consistency is like creamy. So anyway, you put the palette and you keep mixing until it's creamy. Once it's creamy, you take half a spoon of liquid glucose. And the liquid glucose, because it makes it harder, and if you have to do stain, you know, that work, like extension work or whatever, it works perfect. But when you are mixing it, you mix it, and then you go and do your hair, wash your teeth, everything, come back. It has to do it for a little long time, not like for 3 minutes, little longer, until it's really creamy, but very slow. Why? Because a lot of people, they do it really fast, and then they see the jar, half is like watery over here, and then lots of bubbles on top. That doesn't work. It's not strong enough. You have to mix all those egg whites. Then you put it in a container, and then, you know, if you wanted to do the consistency from embroidery, you add a little bit of water in a little container, and then the consistency of pearls. I make all my pearls. We are going to do pearls here. All my pearls, you add a little bit more water, mix it until it's really, you try and you see that it's roundish. They don't have like kisses, you know, all over. And that's it. And then you just use it again. Yes. No, I don't use, no, just glucose, that's it. Yeah.
The half a spoon of liquid glucose?
Yes.
You're talking about
You can give for 6 egg whites.
like, but a regular teaspoon, right?
Yeah, but just even a little less than that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How much sugar?
I don't remember. Just I add and keep adding until it's really creamy, creamy, creamy. When you are going to embroidery, it's very important that you use fresh royal icing. I use royal icing a lot to embroider like wedding dresses and all that stuff. It's so easy, you know. Hey, now that I'm talking about that, I'm going to give you a tip. How to embroider a beautiful wedding dress. You take a wet sponge, because, you know, one of those little sponges, you know, you wet it. And then you take your a container with cornstarch, you know, like here. You put the cornstarch over here. And then you take your cutter. Oh, wrong drawer. You take your cutter and you go wet here, and then you go like this. And then the cornstarch paints your decoration. And then you can pipe on top of it without damaging. You don't like it, you take the cornstarch off. You can use royal icing or fondant when you make, you know, the fondant with the little swirls and everything. Yeah. Trust me, it's a very, very good tip. Because a lot of people, especially, oh my gosh, see that it's going to dry because I'm not putting it. Like for instance, you have a cake here, okay? Over here. And you need to make a swirl here this way, and you need to make the other one over here. It's very difficult that this one and this one match, right? When you're going to do a freehand, when you're going to go like here again or whatever again. So you go with the cornstarch and you paint this, and then you follow this one and you follow that one, right? You know what I mean? Okay. All right. So we are going to wrap. This is the last one, and then we're going to start with the swirls. Okay, egg time, so we get over with the egg. So you take your container with lots of eggs, right? And you're going to just put it over here, just in case one breaks. Huh. Now, look at this. You take your bottle. You take your bottle, right? Go like this. And then you just put it over there. See? Go here. See? Go over there. And then you have your egg whites. Ah! See?
Oh my God.
You see how easy? Huh? So I go with all my eggs, tick, 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 and then I go like, tick, 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 tick. That's it. Huh? No mess. And besides that, it's no mess. It's fun to do it. So everybody wants to learn how to make swirls. These are very, very small. I didn't have enough wire, but I have the other one. I'm going to make one that is just plain. And the other one, because I use this a lot on the cakes, you know, with bows inside, and I use this very, very much. First thing that you have to do is that this has to be very, very, very soft. You can do it with fondant, gum paste, but very soft gum paste, meaning that you have to add a little bit of fondant to the gum paste if you're going to do it like that, okay? A little bit of crisp in your hands. And this is very, very simple. And this is the same way to make leaves, all right? Pay attention because this works for a lot of things. So we make a little sausage, just like this. We are going to put a drop of water on your table, all right, just like that. And then, see where I'm handling over here? We are going to go and we are going to wet this wire, just like that, all right? And then we're going to put it here in the center. And we are going to go all the way up, like this. Then you are going to smoosh but stretch at the same time. So we are going to go like this, okay? Because we are going putting, it has to be wet. If it's not wet, the wire, it won't work. And then you just go like this. See how easy? It's super easy. All right, so now you can do it very, very thin, or you can do it thicker if you want. You can do it, you know, thicker or thinner. Once it's there, you just cut a little piece over here, and you take a paintbrush, anything that you have, hold it here. It's going to damage this little part, and you're going to just wrap it here. And then you can stretch it here. And you're going to cut the ugly part over here, this, and you're going to smooth. Now, let me tell you that I have done this, and I add flowers on top, butterflies, you name it, stars. You know, I paint them in silver, in gold, you know, with a sparkle, with disco, put the steam and put the disco, and they look really, really beautiful. So now you know how to do that. Now I'm going to show you how to do the ones with the little guys. That I use that a lot for ropes to go around the cakes, all right? When you do that with that, if you're going to use the one for the ropes around the cake, do you only use fondant, all right? So we have to warm this really nice, because we are not going to use a drop of water, all right? Just the Crisco over here. And this one. So I'm going to make this, make a little thing like this. Take a little piece of here, and depends on how many lines you put on is going to be your design. You can only put one if you want. Okay, so you just go like here, and then you're going to put this here. Leave it like that, all right? Then we are going to put a skinny one, just like this. All right? Then we can put another one over here. It's up to you. You can make 1, 2, 3 different designs, you know, whatever you want. Okay, so here we are. When you are making a rope, you have to put a little bit of Crisco, on your table. So you don't go with your rope like all the way on top of the table, right? Just like that. Now it's here. See, I'm going to only use 3 in this moment, but you can do 4, 5, whatever. Then you're just going to go and sing la 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 la, la 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 la. See, just like that. I'm going to make it a little longer. Always watching where there is thinner or thicker, you just work that part, all right? If it becomes very thin in one part, you go like that again, and then. Now, this is very, very important. See how easy this moment? And this is exactly the way when you make a rope with 3, you know, like a regular rope, this is the way to do it too. You hold it here in the center. You never ever twist a rope from here. You always do it in the center. And then you just go like this, look. Okay, just like that, look. Then we are going to go around, all right? Hold it here again, hold it here, and keep holding it. Because if you do it from here, over here, it's going to be so thin and it will break, all right? So always remember. So this, I'm not going to waste it, I'm going to put it in this cake. Okay. Here's the brush. Hey, something fell here, David. Let me just put it here. It was not in my plans, but it works, right? Where's the, okay, here. And Plastic surgery. Let's stretch it a little bit. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, okay, okay. Now, to make with the swirls, with this, see, I have with 2 different designs, you know, it's very, very, very simple. Just take a little piece here. Okay, let me just this one, that is thinner. This is fun to do, and besides, you can do this in advance. Put it in boxes. I have pastel colors, dark colors, silver and gold. 3 boxes full of those things. Okay, again, we're going to make a little bit over here. And we are going to take this. Oh, yeah, it was hot, huh? And a little bit here. Look. Now, when you are doing a leaf, that I was telling you about a leaf, remember? Let me just make 2. You make it a little thicker in green, and then you do exactly the same what I did this one, and you stretch it with the rolling pin. And then you can cut a long leaves, and the wire is inside already. Okay, so here we are. We're going to just go stretch again. It's exactly the same thing that I was telling you with the, that is the best baby I have ever seen in my life. Isn't that sweet? Look. Then here, because it has a wire, you're going to do exactly the same. You're going to hold it and twist it, look. See, you can leave it like that. You have to do a decoration like that. If you don't have a wire, for instance, with this one, you can do the ropes around a cake, you know, like this without the wire, just going around. And it really looks very beautiful, okay? Now you can twist it if you want or leave it like that. Look. And then you just hold it here and you pull this up a little bit if you want. And then you always work this little point. So we have all this, all right? Everybody learned how to do a rope, okay? And you can even do bows with that. So I'm going to give you a very good tip. This one is to make, you know, to decorate the consistency. So I use a yellow rubber band. And always, that when it's for pearls, I put a blue rubber band. Because sometimes they have in pink, in blue, in yellow, whatever, all this, in pearls, for pearls. So we don't get confused. So every time that we have a bag that is for pearls, we use a blue rubber band. And I never, ever leave, I always leave my royal icing with this, because that way it won't dry, the royal icing, okay? And this, I mix it today, but I always like to massage it a little bit, right? Now, you are going to laugh, because I don't work the royal icing, or I don't use the bag the way everybody uses it. I work with my fingers. I don't work, this is the correct way, right? All the cake decorators, I don't have the strength here, so I use my fingers like this, all right? So we are going to do just a little bit of the pearls here. I'm not going to do all of them because I can finish it later on. Just to let you know why there is a lot of people that they do peaks, you know, like that in the royal icing. You have done a pearl and it comes like that, no, and then they go with a brush. You don't need to do that. And the reason is because they stretch, you know, they press the royal icing without touching the cake. And that's the reason why it has a peak. All right? So you go here, you sit comfortable in a chair, please, in front of your eyes, not standing up. And then you just go and you press over there, holding it. I think this was a little too watery, but see? So now we are going to, this is going to be very simple. I just, this I did it before you came. I just stretch, cut some flowers. I don't have to show you that, right? Huh? How to cut it? Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yes, it's very important. Because a lot of people, you know what they do when they are cutting the flowers? The flowers stays on the mat. It's true or not? Well, you know something? That is very bad. Because every cutter, every time that you use any cutter, regardless, whatever it is, right? This is the way I always keep my cutters. I go to Office Depot and I buy a box of these little guys, and I always keep all my cutters together, all the sets. Where's the gum paste? Here. I'm just going to decorate a little bit over here, and then I'm going to show you how to make, for the other one, the freehand rows. No cutters, no nothing, all right? Okay. So here we are. Okay, so this is what people does. They cut, this is not moving, the dough is not moving. And then they take the cutter, and where is it? Oh, here. They cut the cutter, and it stays there, right? Isn't that true that a lot of people, they do that when they cut? Big mistake. You don't do that. Why? Because when you're going to take it, it really deforms sometimes, you know, just trying to get it. You put cornstarch under, all right? And then you take this, and then you move the dough. The dough has to move. And then it stays in the cutter. Then you can clean all the edges around, and then you just use the biggest one to push it. And then you just push it, and that's it. But you never stick it, because then when you're going to lift it, sometimes it really deforms the flower, so you don't need that, all right? So this one was using this cutter, and then I cut it in the center, and I just put it on top, all right? Now, when you are going to use, you are going to make this, you just put a little bit of, use a smaller brush. Okay. And I mean, it's not going to be the most beautiful cake, but the important thing is that you learn some tips. Like this one, I did it with the swirl cutter, and then I just put it on top, all right? I always use my brush to hold it. And I have some swirls that David did. So I'm going to use some of these swirls. See, you can make all the things in advance, and you can leave it in plastic bags. And then you can use it. So we did this. Okay, so see what I'm doing over here? I use a brush, a big brush. Okay, one thing that I'm going to show you, and this is a real cake, let's pretend. You never put wires inside a real cake because they come from other places that you never know, right? So it's dangerous. So you always use straws. See, that's why I love straws. I have all kinds of size of straws. You use these straws, and you make a zigzag in your wire. You never, ever do this. And then put the inside. Because when you're going to take it off, this is going to stay inside the cake. So you measure, excuse me, something fell here. So let's see, it's like here. And this is what you do. You make a zigzag in your wire. Just like this. See, like this. You go like tit, 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 like zigzag. And then you just put it over there inside the straw. And you can have all this in advance too, you know, already done. That way, when you're going to take your decoration off, it comes with the straw too. All right? So just remember that, and then you just cut it over here, and then you just put it over there. But we're not going to use that because it's a styrofoam. So we are going to make, so let's pretend these are the straws. So enjoy, this is a very good styrofoam, so hard. We just cut it a little bit here. The good thing about this is that you can do it in advance. All these little guys. I've done it so many times. Now the steamer, I use it every single day for all my cakes, even if they are white. If they don't have decoration, I steam them. When they dry, they have this satin looking that is so beautiful. Not shiny, shiny, but it have this, takes away like this sad black, you know. Now, when you are going to, I usually steam them before, and like I said, you're going to use the disco colors. Yeah. You just steam it, put a tray, a big tray, add the disco colors, right? Shake a little bit, and then you just put it, okay? And they really makes beauty. This one, Bed Bath & Beyond. When you are using a steamer, you have to use like a, even it could be one of those cloths, you know, like for these ones, or a baby cloth, something. You have to use a little piece of cloth here because they have bad temper, and sometimes they spit you. Yeah. And then they make holes over there. So I always use a little fabric there, okay? But I didn't bring it, so I hope they polite. And how do you take away the, look, here, cornstarch. Look. Stripping, okay. Wow. Yeah, I broke in the plane. So you just go like this, see? Look, the difference of the green, of the black, I mean.
The shine stays.
The shine stays, but a little less, but stays beautiful. When it dries, it really. Now, I'm going to tell you a little tip. When you have an old dummy cake, and you always have to cover your dummy so it doesn't have any dust or anything, but you wanted to bring it back to life, just steam it. And then you bring it to your show or whatever you need to do, all right? This is like a little makeup for the cakes. See this? Even with the royal icing, it doesn't matter. This is so wet,
Okay,
David.
so do you do this, and you could still put it in the refrigerator and do the wrapping that you indicated? Or at what point are you going to steam this cake?
When it's all done.
When it's
No, you can do it in the morning, or you can do it some hours before, or you can even do it the day before.
Not refrigerated after.
No, no, it's just before you are going to deliver it. So
So if you do it the day before, you put it in the plastic, the paper towels, and then the next day when it's delivery time,
you can steam it.
hours
Yes.
before, then you steam it, right?
Yes,
Got it.
yes. See? See the difference? Huh? So that's good that you learned that. Huh? Oh my. Truly, there's many ways to make roses. And I make the roses that are like these ones, then the commercial ones that is with these cutters. These are the commercial ones that you do with the cutters. And then I make the really sophisticated ones that they are with spoons. I use spoons to do it, plastic spoons. But those are more time consuming. The good thing about this kind of roses is that you can make miniature roses and you can make big, medium, all size of roses that you want, okay? Just for this one, you use half and half, okay? The only thing that you need for this is the Crisco. That's it. No water, nothing, just Crisco, all right? I'm going to smooth this really well. Crisco in my hands. All right, here we are. Before you make a rose and before you make a flower that you use a lot for the wedding cakes and everything, right? You have to make the center of the rose. But a lot of people, they don't know how to take away the wrinkles of a bowl. You go like this, right? And look at this. You keep going, and look at that. It's true or not? That you always have wrinkles. I'm going to show you how to take it away. You are going to take this, and you are going to go like this. Very hard, like if you are really, 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 really hard. You are going to go like this, okay? Doing exactly the same thing, but instead of being soft, you are going to do it very, very, very hard. And then you go fast, 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 fast. Look. See, there is no wrinkles anyplace, all right? So when you have to do something with a ball like that. So now I'm going to make like a medium size, so you all can see. And this is what we do. Very, very simple. We take the Crisco, we put it over here. And then we are going to make just like that, look. And this has to be extremely, extremely thin, all right? This part over here. Over here. See how thin this is? Like that, sharp, all right? And then with this, depends on the center of this is going to be the size of the roses. So you can make a big center, or you can make a small or medium size, whatever. I'm sorry about my nail. It's the fondant, okay? It's not that I'm dirty, all right? And then you overlap this on top. And then this is how we're going to make the center. Let's see, a medium-sized rose, all right? So we just go like this. And we are going to make this the bottom of the center of the rose. Now this is what we are going to do. We're going to take a little piece over here, and we are going to just press that very thin over here, and we are going to bring this up. And we are going to do it like this. And then we are going to pinch a little piece, any place, okay? Very, very thin over here, and we're going to bring it all the way up. Okay? And we don't care about this part already. We just keep going. It's very, very simple. And the good thing about this is the miniatures that you can do. Oh my God, they are so beautiful. Okay, so we go there. See how easy it is? It's just pinch, 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 and that's it. Okay, see, here we go.
So each petal is overlapping.
Yeah, each petal is like the rose, they are overlapping. The beginning ones. Okay, see how easy? Huh? The what? It's just bringing it up. And one thing that I wanted to tell you is that the petals are all level. They don't go like up and down. Okay. Little bit of Crisco here. And a little bit of Crisco. And now we are going to use the humidity to turn this really nice. You'll see. At this point, what we are going to do, see over here, you can leave it like that, or you can take the humidity with your fingers, and then you're going to go and open this just a little bit. See? Okay? And then we are going to continue. And every time that you go to another row, you do it a little bit wider. I mean, you have to practice a little bit. See that I'm over here? I'm going to bring all this piece all the way up. Okay? Because we need this thickness over here. Look, I'm going to start with the humidity. I'm going to start going like this. It doesn't matter if this is a little wrinkle or whatever over here, it doesn't matter. That's natural, all right? Look, it's coming. Huh? Huh? So easy. Okay, here we are. Okay, guys, look. See, it's coming. Huh? And just wait until we paint it. Really, it's really nice. Huh? I don't use the airbrush a lot. I like to paint more because I paint watercolors for many years. So I am more like to paint than using the airbrush, but you can airbrush them too. And remember, there's like I was telling you, the commercial one is the ones, you know, with the cutters. You see? It's coming. Huh? And then you can do all the petals and then you are bored. You say, that's enough. I don't want to do any more. That's it. Okay. After I finish this, I'm going to show you how to make a correct bow and how to do different bows using the same bow. Okay? Yeah, you just pinch here, see? Over here. Okay. And then I'll bring the entire thing up. I don't go like here. I bring, see, I pinch this, I bring it up. All the way up. So just, okay, so I think that's enough. I'm going to do this, and that's it. And you know what I do? I always do, I have like those little containers to make ice cubes, the round ones. That's how I let my flowers dry. And the formers that I use for all my flowers is aluminum foil. That's what I work. The lilies, the gardenia, the roses, the other kind of roses, everything with aluminum foil. I don't use any other thing. Okay, so once it's like this is one of those closed. You can do it open, you can do it, you bring it upside down. And then we are going to go and make a waist. If she goes to the gym, and we are going to make a nice waist for this guy. And just like that, look. See? And you can put a wire, you can put whatever you want. Okay, cut it over here. And then we are going to let them dry just for a few minutes, and then we can paint it, okay? Let's see if I can use this as a... The what? Water, that's just it. Yeah, with this fondant, you don't need, the only thing you need is just water. Okay, so you're going to make a miniature one. See, the same thing. You just go here, very thin. Now, big mistake of a lot of people, they do this. So when they're going to go here, they wick this part over here. So we don't need that. We need this to go very, very, very thin over here, okay? And not so stretched. And then you're going to go, and this is for the miniature ones. You're going to make it just like that, see? Little button like this.
So the first step is a teardrop?
Like a teardrop. And then you just go. I mean, I'm doing it slowly for you, but once you have experience, you do it so fast. You like it? You like this one? Yeah. Very cute, huh? And this is the same way how you do the camellias, too. But the camellias are overlapping. Okay, so again, we are going to do this. And you have the miniature ones, see? Very cute, huh? And then you can make little bunches and all that stuff. Okay, I'm going to tell you some, especially for the ones that they have business. One of the things that we sell the most is cakes, emergency cakes. Emergency cakes are those ones that you have to do in the last moment, right? And you say, you complain a little bit, you make the drama a little bit, you say, well, we're busy, but you're a good customer, we'll do it. But you have everything to do it, okay? But you have to be like that with the customer. We'll do it for you. So what we do, we have lots of boxes with already, bows already done that I'm going to show you. The only thing you have to do is take your cake, make a ribbon if you want, and just put one of those bows on top and start adding. And you make this gorgeous, beautiful. And you can do, half an inch, 1 inch, whatever you want, all right? And they look really, and in that moment, you can mix the colors. I think in the book, probably there is some, you can do it very thin, very, whatever, but it has to be really very thin if you want to do something beautiful.
A strip of it?
No, David, it's very cold.
You want a strip of it?
Yes, but very thin, David. Okay, do a good job. I think I'm going to start here too. Put a little bit of Crisco, David, in your hands. They're dry. I'm going to make this one meanwhile. All the bows, you're going to understand what I'm going to show you now. They all ended with an M or with a W. Okay, you're going to, making bows is the easiest thing of the entire thing. Going around the cake. I can make one over here so I can show you. Make a wide one, David. Maybe I should make a little one over here so you can see, okay? And one of the things that makes the bows really ugly is the thickness of the bows. And after I finish this, I'm going to show you how to make a double size bow with no water, okay? Oh, guys, you're going to have a nightmare tonight to digest all the things, huh? You're going to dream with all the things, huh? I'm going to do it freehand, so we don't waste time, all right? Okay, let me just. Okay, this is a mat from New York thing that I destroy because I love to do it to cover for the ribbon. See? It broke already. Now, let me show you. I'm going to use a little bit of pearl dust just to make it a little fun, you know. Let me give you a little tip about the pearl dust. If you are going to use a small thing, use a small brush. This is a little too big. I left the other one. Now, this is what I refer about the M. You go here or W, and M for you, and you go like this. See? And then you just pinch this, so you have this angle here. All right? Again and M. And for all the bows, it's going to be like that. Now for the loops, we are going to go like here, right? And we are going to go here. And again, let me just put the pearl dust. We are going to put no water, just like here, here, and there. See? And then you just put your finger over there. And this is going to be for a little bow that I'm going to make over there. Probably it's going to be too little, but it's okay. Like that, again. Put your finger here. Okay, so we go here. Now, if you want to give a little movement, you just go here, put a little bit of water here, and that's it. And then you just bring it over here, put a little water. Everything that I do is with water. I don't complicate my life with anything else. Now, you open this, all right? David. And I'm going to put it over here. Always put your fingers there. You can even put a little bit of a tissue when I make the big ones. Going around the cake, you're going to see it on the book. Every single bow that I have in that book, this is the way I did it, all right? Now, for this part, can you see? So for this part, over here, this is a little too small. I should do it bigger so you can all see. Look, for the center, this is the way to do it. You go here.
Look at the camera. You can't see.
Okay.
Go down.
Yeah.
And over here.
They still can't see.
You know something? Let me do it in a big piece. Okay, everybody pay attention. This is the center of that little one, but I'm going to make it in big so you can see. Here and here, and then you gather it. You don't make any W or M's. You just gather here, all right? Like this, and then over here, and then you just gather there and make this one down.
There you go.
Okay, like that. And then when you are going to make, you're going to put it on the bow. Let's pretend this, I'm not going to use this one, but you go like here, and then you turn this around, and you put it inside. So you have the center like that. You following me? Yes. Okay, goody. I'm going to make the little one here. Okay. And then we are going to just put a little bit of So I'm going to go, look at here. Look what I'm doing. Press it over here, right? Totally upside down like that. And then I turn this. Okay. And we do it like that, okay? Is that okay? Okay, now we are going to show you the ones for the emergency business. So let's see, we are going to make, I'm going to do a freehand. Probably they're not going to be the best, but okay. So I usually do it between 6 inches and 6.5 or 7, depends on how big I want it, all right? So I think this is a little too big. Okay, with the rolling pin. I go like this, and I make an M again, right? But I go, and I make this piece over here. Everybody following me? This part? And then I take a tray. I don't hang up any of those things. This is a pain in the neck just to take all away later on. Put it in that tray, and I have a little jar, like a plastic jar, different sizes, and I just push this over here like that. It's a little big. So again, we are going to make this, and this is very important to be long. This, and let them dry just like that. This will dry like a rock, and we have it in boxes, like I say, all colors. And then you just go like here, see? I have a fan in the wall, and when I have an emergency, I just put it on top, under the fan, and they dry really fast. Now I'm going to tell you, for instance, if you have to travel with this, they have to be very strong. What I do, in the moment that I'm going to do it, I add the tylose, more tylose in that moment. So it's soft to do it, but when they hard, oh my gosh, they are so hard that they are like a rock. And then you can, so then what happens is like you have all these bows already done in boxes, and this is very hard. And then what you do is you don't even have to open nothing. Just with this, it's so hard that you just go like pop, inside with those little things, and then you connect the other ones, and you make a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, for instance, when you are going to make, you have a dummy, and it's really hard in here, so you put a little bit of fondant on top. But when you do that, you put water, put a little bit of fondant, and then with the brush, you go around, so you don't see that there is fondant there. It's like a continuation. And then you just put your bows there, and they're beautiful. And that you go like that. Now, when we do gold or silver, we make the white ones, and then we just, with the lemon extract, I use lemon extract, and with the gold, and I dissolve that, and I paint them in gold. And I let them dry, and then I put it on. See how easy that is? Okay? Now, remember what I showed you with the swirls? The same thing that I did when it's the rope, like this rope over here. I stretch it, and then you have ribbons. You know what I mean? With the stripes too. So you can do that. So I mean, you can do so many things with but you have to always pull this, okay? And always go like that. And then you can do it, right? Just like this.
So is that actually gum paste, like the ones you make at
Gum paste. It has to be really gum paste. I even add a little bit more of gum paste because, the harder they are, the better for you to just stick it on the cake and go around and everything. Right. So that is really good. Okay. And now you can do with the ribbons too. If you have a cutter, and you can cut with stencils. I left my stencils. And I wish I could show you how to make stencils, because stencils are very, very, very important. There's a lot of people, I don't have any stencils here, I'm sorry. But I can tell you how to do it. Okay, a lot of people, they have these stencils, and what they do is that they take the stencils and then they paint it. And that's it. So the color goes under sometimes, right? You know what I mean? You don't do that like that. You take your stencil, and here's your stencil. You cut your ribbon, and then what you do, you take your stencil and you just go on top of the stencil with your rolling pin. Okay, just with the rolling pin, just like this. And then you paint it with the things that you wanted, and then when you take it soft, very, very, very easy, your decoration is up. It stands up. So that, so it looks beautiful, all right? Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make the double-sided ribbon, okay? With no water, again, no water. They're going to kill me, oh my gosh. Yeah, but I'm flying tomorrow to Orlando, you know? I'm going to paint that. You can bring it back over here so I can paint it so you can take a picture with the painting. Okay, here we are. And you can do this with the pasta machine. All right. So this part, right, over here, they are already dry a little bit on top. So what you have to do, and you have to do it very fast, is that you go here immediately, the stick part with the sticky part. And then no water, nothing, all right? And you can pass it through the pasta machine and everything, because it's a little thicker, you know, because it's, let me make a tiny little one here. Look, see? How easy that is? And then you can make your bow once this way, or you can do, you know, ribbons around, whatever, things, whatever, any decoration that you want. And then you can go like here. And you do it like that, okay? See how easy? Tell me something that is difficult that I have teach you today. Nothing, right? Everything is very simple. Huh? The what?
It's the skirt and press.
See, you will never forget about it. Then you are going to make beautiful, beautiful, smooth fondant cakes. Huh? Okay, where is the rose? I'm going to show you how to paint that. These are pastel colors that they are for kids, you know. Everything that is for kids, you know, everything that they sell for kids is edible, because you know the kids, okay? So this is done with food coloring too, okay? Now, when you are using the dust colors, it's very important that you make a palette of it. You never paint from the jar directly to the flower, because you're going to make a mess. You have to put and you always, always paint everything that you do with dust with square paints, brushes. You never paint ever with a round one, because there is no point. Because you always paint with this side over here, okay? So if it's, for instance, the dust ones, you take a little bit and you bring like this, the color inside. So the color is inside your brush. And then you tap, 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 tap. Okay, you take the extras and then you start painting, all right? So, see, this is almost dry now. So let me just do that. We take the extras off. And then, for instance, if you want from the outside, let's make this variety that is like, they have like, see, like this. Okay. And over here. And over here. See how it's coming? See, I'm painting with this part over here, right? Bless you. This is pastel color for kids. It's not like done food coloring, you know, but it's pastels. And I use it just for the flowers a little bit. When I'm doing like something that I know they're going to eat, you know, I used, you know, but really the other ones are more dangerous than this one. Tell you the truth. You know, it's non-toxic exactly like the other ones. Now, you always steam your flowers too. Always. All your flowers. So they bring, I'm going to steam this, even that it's a little fresh still. No, after you paint it, when they are ready, you steam it. Okay? Never before. See? You can steam this, paint it too. Oh, the little one. Let's paint the little one. Okay. For instance, when I use these little pieces, I don't waste anything. You know what I do with this? I do, how do you call that, confetti?
Confetti.
I use a puncher, you know those little square punchers? I let them dry, and then when there is a birthday, you know, really, you know, festive, I put the confetti on top. So I have it in boxes, and then all colors and everything. And then otherwise, you just mix this and make gray. Here, make gray. Okay, any questions? Are you looking at me already? No. Okay. Huh?
I didn't know you had eyes in the back of your head. You're sensing me.
I was sensing to you. That's true.
Are we all done? Or?
Thank you.
Whatever you want. If you need something else, I don't care. Yeah. Well, thank you, and I hope you learn a lot. Don't be afraid. Remember to be happy, okay? No suffering. It's boring. Okay. Yes?
So your website is thesatinice.com?
No. It's Bake Me a Cake. It's in the book. It's in the book. It's over here in the back.